Well, hello Paul, and hello everybody. Welcome back to the Stats Show. We've got a good one today. We have got Kev Moore. Now, Kev Moore is a massive fan of the channel, so I'm just going to wave to Kev now because I know he's watching this. Now, Kev Moore is a 3-handicap golfer. He has supported every bus tour that we have done, even when he's been through the ups and downs of not only his own game, but his own health. He has made the effort to come and enjoy the bus tour. He's a member at S&A, but he's not just any member at S&A, Southport and Ainsdale. He's an artisan member. So he has chores to do on the golf course. So he has to go out divoting. He has to go out and do whatever the golf club need him to do in order to cover his membership, which is kind of an old school way of doing it. There's not many artisan clubs around that much anymore. So fantastic that Kev is involved with that. Get some great stories from him. He's a fantastic guy. Well, we've got his stats.
Yeah.
We've logged in. I mean, this guy plays some golf. If you follow him on Instagram, he plays a serious amount of golf.
He does. He does.
So you've played golf with him?
Yeah. Ashburnham and Pyle and Kenfig.
Ashburnham, Pyle and Kenfig at the bus tour up there. Give me your sort of thoughts on him.
He's a steady player.
Yeah.
He's not a particularly big hitter.
No.
But he knows how to kind of get the best out of his game, definitely.
Gets the ball around the golf course.
Yeah.
Well, stay tuned because we're going to go deep into Kev Moore's stats, 3-handicap golfer. Let's have a little look. Okay, Kev Moore's stats then, 3-handicap golfer. Let's have a little look.
Okay, we'll start with his scoring.
Yep.
He's 5.5 shots over par on average.
Is that pretty good for a 3-handicap golfer?
I'd say that's pretty good for a 3-handicap golfer. You're not going to be 3 over par every time if you're a 3-handicap golfer.
No.
So
I like that. That's a kind of important message there, isn't it? You're not going to see your average score at 3 if you're off 3. No. It's going to be generally a little bit up above that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If we also look at his par 3s, 4s and 5s, he's slightly below what a 5-handicapper would be because we're comparing these stats to a 5-handicapper because we've got brackets on ShotScope of scratch, 5, 10.
Yeah, okay.
So the closest we've got to him is 5 handicap. So yeah, he's pretty good, or where he needs to be with the 4s, 5s and 3s. So there's nothing we can really work out there. It's all pretty good. If we now look down at his main areas of his scoring, which is broken down into tee shots, approach shots, short game and putting. Yeah. We can see tee shots, he's pretty average where he needs to be. Approach shots, he's giving up a shot on where he should be on approach shots. Short game, he's above where he needs to be, so pretty good round the greens. But putting is incredible.
Yeah.
It's absolutely incredible. He's 3.37 shots below where he needs to be, or better than he needs to be for putting. So I think what he's given up in his long game, he's making back and more. And I think if I compare that to a tour player, so if I put his stats against a tour player, he's still doing better than the average tour player.
One thing I would say about Kev, and this is just my experience of playing a few rounds of golf with him now, is he's quite accurate off the tee, as in like he hits this little, he does hit a little fade, but occasionally gets a little pull going on. But he's not the longest hitter. So I'm seeing obviously his stats there with his driving not too bad, which is about right. If I remember watching him play, he was not too bad. But then he's putting then maybe a little bit of pressure on his approach game because he's just got a lot of club in a lot of the time. You know?
Yeah, I think if we look at his stats on his tee shots, he's hitting 43% of the fairways, which actually he should be hitting about 51%. Okay. So he's a little bit down on that, but he's not far away. No. But like you say, his distance, he is 10 yards shorter than what the average 5 handicap should be. So he's 243 yards off the tee. Yeah. But really he should be 253 yards off the tee to be an average of a 5 handicap. So you'll probably find that it may be nearer 12 yards off for a 3 handicapper. So that's something he could definitely make some gains on.
If he wanted to.
Yeah.
if he wanted to go down this road of I mean, he gets, as you can, you watch him play, he gets the best out of his game, in my opinion, from for where his handicap is. He could. There are areas of his game from a technical standpoint, golf lessons, where he could improve if he wanted to, and he could probably pick up that 10 yards on his game as well, because ultimately there's a bit of technical there. He gets wider. The more he gets into his round, the wider his stance gets, and that does restrict certain positions within his body and body speed, body turn and stuff like that. So there are areas that he could pick up on for sure. Definitely.
Just staying on the tee shots, something I picked up on was on the strokes gained. When you look at the distance of the hole, the longer the hole, the more he's giving back to the field. The shorter the hole, the better he is. So I think that's something that's highlighting the distance issue there. Yeah. That's definitely coming up on that stat, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's a strong guy. He's still very active. He's in his 40s. He's still very actively working. He's still a fit guy. Yeah. So he's still a strong guy. So there is areas there that he could pick up a few extra yards if he wanted to. From the technical side. Leading into his approach game then.
Yeah, he's 45% short on his approach shots into the green. Okay. So whether that's a clubbing issue or whether that's a strike issue, or
it could be a clubbing issue, a strike issue, an ego issue.
It could be ego. He probably thinks he hits it further than he does.
Yeah, looking for that bounce.
Possibly.
He'll be giggling right now.
He won't like that little dig. And he's not quite hitting enough greens. He's 37%. Or he should be 37%. He's 31%. So he's a little bit down, but his misses left and right are pretty consistent. They're the same. So there's nothing really to see there. Real funny one I found here, which I don't know. You might be able to make some sense out of this. But approach by lie, he's better out the rough than he is out the fairway.
Okay.
So I don't know what that kind of indicates, but maybe he doesn't like tight lies.
Maybe, but then if you're playing on a links course like Southport and Ainsdale, you're going to get those lies.
Yeah, but I thought that was quite an interesting one. There. Yeah, better out the rough than he is in the fairway.
Okay. So we've seen areas of his game that we've highlighted that possibly could be an area that he could improve on. Where's his short game looking?
Short game, I mean, he's pretty good with the short game. However, they are saying here that his proximity to the hole is 3 foot further away than it should be. So his average proximity to the hole is 17 feet. So based on that, it should be nearer 14 feet. So he's basically got 3 foot longer a putt than he should do on every chip on average. So that can be when you get close to the hole, that becomes more of a problem. Yeah. But obviously, if it's the further away you are, 3 feet doesn't necessarily make a difference. But I think based on his amazing putting stats,
which we've got to look at, I don't
so
there is a small area there then that he could focus on with his short
game. He needs to be knocking it 3 foot closer every chip, basically on average. So there's definitely room for improvement.
So there's room for improvement there for sure.
Definitely, and I think if we break that down. And we look at the strokes gained on that. Yeah, it's under 25 yards from the hole, he's pretty good. He's punching. Yeah, and then but when he gets sort of 25 to 50 yards away from the hole, he's slightly not. He's not
closer
as good.
To his pitching.
Maybe it may be
closer to his pitching area.
If you're going nearer 50 yards, you're
pitching, aren't you? Yeah.
So maybe the pitching. It's not bad. Yeah. But it's not in the same league as his little chips around the green.
Right.
So
okay.
That's maybe something he.
So again, another little area that we've picked up on that he could possibly focus on and just dial in a little bit more. Maybe a little winter program for him.
Yeah. But putting, this is where.
Have we possibly found the best putter in the world right here?
I think these stats would suggest he would be top 3 in the world.
Top 3 in the world.
Putting.
Well, there you go. We found the top 3.
That's not a 5 handicap top 3. That's on tour. Putting is phenomenal. What he's doing.
But at the end of the day, if you look at all the other stats that we've gone through, there had to be an area of his game that is keeping his handicap down where it's at. Yeah. Whether it's a 5 handicap or a 3 handicap, to keep it down to where he's at, he needed to be, there needed to be an area.
Yeah, exactly.
So talk me through the different lengths of putts then, of what he's got.
Well, if you look at his make percentage, under 3 foot, he's pretty much where he needs to be. From 3 to 6 feet, he's pretty much where he needs to be. So he's average, average 5 handicapper.
Yeah.
You go beyond that, and he starts. It's quite incredible what he does.
Okay.
He's up on every category over 6 feet by quite a lot, by at least a quarter up. And like I said earlier, if you put him on up against the Tour Pros, he's basically beating what most of the Tour Pros are doing. So he's an incredible putter. Yeah. And this is based on, have we got 41 rounds of golf?
Yeah,
this isn't
plenty of golf.
This isn't just a couple of rounds of golf where he's had a lucky couple of days. This is based on pretty much the whole year.
Yeah.
And if we look at the strokes gained, it shows you there. It highlights that anything over 10 feet.
Phenomenal.
He holds a lot of putts outside of 10 feet.
I mean, I've seen it. I've seen him hold lots of putts. Yeah. You know, you could go into a psychological side of things with his game, because he does get a little bit down on himself with certain parts of his game. But you know, I've seen him hold putts. I've seen him walk off, you know, not looking like he's going to make a par, and then out of nowhere he's made a par. You know, it's definitely there. There's definitely something going on, isn't there?
100%. 100%.
Absolutely right.
I think he could maybe set up a putting academy or something.
I think he possibly could. But so just to sort of summarise what we're seeing then from his game, and something maybe to go away and work on. Technically, we know that there is wriggle room for Kev to improve. Yeah. There are certain flaws within his golf swing that he could improve, that could gain him some yardage, which ultimately could get him a little bit further down there off the tee. Maybe give him one extra or one less club in because he's a little bit further down, and then also one less club again because he's hitting it just that little bit further with his irons, as he would be with his woods. So there's definitely an area of his game if he wants to take that away and work on. Kev plays lots of golf. He enjoys his golf. I'm not sure how much he enjoys necessarily from a coaching standpoint. I know his good friend Graham is going through some coaching as well. So they're both in it kind of together when they go and play. So there's definitely an area there of his game. There's also a short game area there that he could possibly go away and work on. Yeah,
a little bit. On the short game. We're kind
just
of
a bit of fine tuning,
nitpicking at him a little bit there. But if he wants to go to that next level of scratch, which I'm sure he does, that's certainly an area that could be brushed up on, just outside of the 25 yards from the hole. Yeah. But also, I think the approach play, certainly some gains could be made there, and it's probably a clubbing issue. Could be strike. Yeah. Could be clubbing, but the tendency of coming up short quite a lot, I think that's killing him. So he needs to look at whether that's a clubbing issue or strike, figure that out, and I think he can definitely make some gains there as well. Yeah.
Well, I know, Kev, you'll be watching this video, and hopefully that will help you with your game. If you're somebody in that sort of same category, just focusing on things certainly over the winter period can hopefully help with your game as well. So, but down in the comments, we'd like to hear what people think about that video. We'd like to hear what people think about Kev's game, and obviously his stats. If you want a putting lesson, Kev can be available. We can organise that.
I'm going.
Paul definitely needs to go up and see him. But hope you've enjoyed that video. Don't forget, if you are new to our channel, hit that subscribe button. Loads more content coming your way, and we'll see everybody again probably on the next Stat Show. Yep. See you again.